Hey, it's Jay, creator of Mercy. I'd like to quickly thank you for listening to our show and for the positive feedback you've been giving us so far. Mercy is a passion project created by our wonderful cast and crew on a voluntary basis. So if you do like what you hear and would like to support us, you can leave us a rating or a follow or recommend us to your family and friends. Shows like ours are discovered on a word-of-mouth basis, so this really does help. I'd also like to take this opportunity to introduce you to our first featured friend of the show, Project Gnosis by MQ Media. Project Gnosis is a full-cast, BIPOC-led audio drama set in the year 2030 CE. The Earth faces tensions in the realms of the mundane and the supernatural. Organizations and individuals have answered the call to keep the balance of the world safe by preventing extremists, imperialists, and abominations from throwing the world into chaos. Follow Faye, an advanced form of Juncture, and Riz, a werehorse vigilante, as they face a world of conflict waged by those who seek the ruin of all. It's incredibly relevant, and it's amazing as a listener of the show myself. They're currently releasing Season 2, so this is a really good time to jump into the show and check out Season 1 in its entirety. They also have a comic out, which I will link in the description of this episode, and we'll be posting on our socials as well, so you can check it out there. Stay tuned to listen to the trailer, and please do show them some love. Thank you for listening once again. Until next time.
At the heart of this world, where monsters and magic exist in secret from modern life, is conflict. And among this chaos, there's one endeavor of great undertaking yet to be unleashed upon the world.
They have been swarming into our affairs like locusts.
I wandered aimlessly looking for a place of my own. I never got a chance to find it.
And all this for what? For what? Scraps? Nonsense?
Idiot! Stop stumbling around and come with me.
They are snakes that think themselves dragons.
That's the sad reality we live in. Too much BS being peddled out there, obscuring fact.
Like I need more reasons to think society is terrible.
Horseboy, just follow her lead.
Gonna make this easy and come quietly. Or do you want to do this the fun way?
I wanted to see the world, be daring, help people elsewhere.
Those chosen shall seek the truth of what they face. Let them reveal what is hidden and enlighten the world. Let them seek the truth of Project Gnosis.
This episode has content warnings for depictions of grief and funerals, religious language, homophobia, misogyny, mentions of femicide, violence and gore, depictions of alcoholism, ableism, and ableist language. This show is for adult audiences only. Listener discretion is advised. This is a touch dreary.
It's a funeral, Gray.
Yes, but a dreary one, wouldn't you say?
You ever been to a happy funeral?
Yes.
You have?
As many funerals there are in this world, Sawyer, surely it is not outside the realm of possibility for a happy, non-dreary one?
It ain't right.
There is no correct prescription for dealing with death.
Well, sure there is. But it ain't something you think about. It should come naturally.
What should?
That.
Weeping?
Uh-huh.
Praying?
Sure.
And appearing like one sat upon the saddle too quickly?
Why not? Sat on a what?
You, Sawyer. I am speaking of you. That sour grape mane of yours.
That's just how my face is.
It usually isn't so unsightly.
How else is it supposed to look?
It is a performance, is it not? The weeping, the dull prayers, the gloomy clouds, the sour grape face. Even the setting is spectacularly dressed.
It's a cemetery, Gray.
Wouldn't it be nicer to be buried on a beach?
You'd pop out with the tide.
How about a park, then? Or a mountaintop. Imagine the view.
When you die, you get buried in a cemetery. And it's dull and dreary and depressing. Because that's what death is. Dull and dreary and depressing.
Well, of course, when one imagines death, one often thinks of a cemetery. The headstones, the epitaphs, the droning ascetic priest. But haven't you ever wondered what those of other cultures and creeds imagine when presented with mortality? In parts of the world, they do sky burials, where they leave the bodies out on mountaintops and allow nature to take its course. And when they speak of death, they might associate it with the sky and lush, verdant flora. Think about it, Sawyer. If they should lay eyes upon a headstone, they might suppose it to be a poorly designed bench.
This is just how death is in Mercy. We cry, we get ugly, we say useless, meaningless words, and then we bury them like a bad secret. And then we go on about our day like nothing ever happened. We go on.
And are you satisfied with this?
I have to be.
You don't, you know. You could make it entirely yours.
That's the thing, Gray. He wasn't entirely mine.
I close my mouth and allow the Reverend's scripted supplications to fill the heavy silence. I am not one to allow others to dictate my will. However, there was something rather wicked and festered that had taken root within me since picking up this raggedy stray of a man, and it compels me to give him the space to indulge in such dramatics as men are so oft wont to do. When I first saw Wayne Sawyer strung up in that tree, bloodied and deranged, I was certain that he was as beyond this world as I was. While I am not quite dissuaded from my initial presumptions, moments like these give me pause, wherein he is so steeped in the earth with his heart and his appetites and his offensive humanness. It would be the happiest of funerals, I think, to be buried in the sky. What a silly-looking bench.
Wish I could have given him a better one. All fancified with a statue of an angel atop.
Samuel Beaufort, beloved son, cousin, and nephew. Hardly poetry.
He loved Moby Dick. Should have put a quote on there instead. Why didn't I think of that?
1839 to 1891.
It don't quite capture him. That little dash.
Gives one a healthy dose of existential dread, doesn't it?
Every scar on his body, every sunspot and wrinkle, his ugly calloused hands, those stupid, tiny spectacles teetering on the end of his nose, and the way he'd shove a book in my face, rambling about this or that. I'd never constitute a single damn word of it.
Comprehend.
Yeah, he did that too.
A man after my own heart.
You would have liked him. He weren't really the charming type, but he sure was a know-it-all. He had a way of making me feel real young. It weren't bad, but I was dumb and rash, always raising fists, saying the wrong things. But he never got angry. Not once. He just looked right into the core of me and say the one thing I needed to hear in that precise moment. Even if I didn't want to hear it. Even if I threatened to crack his jaw. He said what needed saying. You're a lot like him, actually.
Astute? Mature? Sage?
Irritating blatherskite.
Are you satisfied with this?
I am now. Yeah.
Good.
Thank you, Gray.
We're still taking the office?
I reckon so.
And our aristocratic suspect?
I reckon you did right by accepting his invitation. Gives us a chance to find out what he's got to hide.
I do enjoy it when you go bipedal.
Huh? Who's peddling?
Back on all fours again.
Sometimes, Gray, I swear you're insulting me.
I've not but the best to say about you, Wayne Sawyer. Well then, we should plan our next steps carefully. If the Bates Agency is aware of your pseudonym...
No, our shadow's dead. And Chacon said that he weren't gonna spill about Boomer and Seeley.
And you trust him?
As much as I need to, sure. Yeah, we got bad blood, but he ain't got any loyalty to his wardens.
Let us assume in Mr. Chacon's goodwill, and that for now at least, the agency is not a priority concern.
For now.
Whoever holding the black contract is, however. The enigma of Cornelius Croy.
Croy killed Bo and sent Alicia Medusa for our shadow blabbed. That kind of power, it's beyond anything I know.
Where to now?
We gotta meet up with Bo's lawyer about his will.
Then we are to go through with the lease transfer?
Don't worry. They send another shadow after us.
I am more so concerned about the logistics of running a business with you at the helm, Sawyer. The sheer amount of administration and concessions and indemnifications. I mean, your mere existence is liability itself.
I didn't ask for your help, Doc. I can run the office just fine by my own. What you smelling me for?
So you are sober? Huh.
I'm dry. Well, trying to be anyhow.
Regardless, you could use another thorough wash. You are aware that the fragrant white bar besides the bathtub is not a decorative ornament?
Maybe you're the one that's gone nose blind.
It is neither a giant mint candy.
I ain't gotta be a professor to know how business works, all right? I do the thing, and I get the coin for the thing, and I pay the rent, and I do the thing again. And on it goes till it's my turn to make my eternal bed. Easy as pie.
Perhaps you have caught the heat sickness.
Don't you have your own business to tend to?
As a matter of fact, I do.
You do?
And I may have acquired our inaugural client.
Our Orgle what now?
Come along now, Sawyer. We must make haste. Once we have our legal affairs in order, we shall prepare to receive our guest. She has written that she will call upon us past noon.
Gray, I don't think...
No, you do not. And thus, as was the late Samuel Boomer, I shall be the brain to your brawn. We should keep the name as is, of course. Wouldn't do to change an established brand. And I shan't want to use a silly false name like you do, of course. Advertising my own services is about to bring That stain isn't coming out. There's two of them now. Blood stains, I mean. Two big, bloody, gory stains from two big, bloody, gory murders.
You just gonna be a coffee boiler, Gray, or you gonna help?
Coffee? Oh, I could use a good cup of Java. Do we have any?
We don't have Jack!
No, Java, Sawyer. Really, it is times like these when one is led to question the fluency of your mother tongue.
I'm fluent enough.
And the kitchen. Have you seen the state of the kitchen? There is not a crumb of sustenance to be found. Also, our well has a frog problem.
It ain't a problem if there's still water to be drawn.
You do know what a frog does in the water, yes?
Swim?
This won't do at all. I shall have to write up a grocery list of necessities we are lacking. Coffee, for one. More soap. New clothes.
We already got clothes.
These tattered, filthy, sweaty rags can hardly be constituted as clothing. And if we are to receive clients on the regular, we must be presentable.
We ain't running a law firm. Folk just need dependable workers, not frilly powdered dandies.
Not a fan of dandies, are you?
Useless bunch of bottom feeders. Good for nothing. Brass-bellied, abandoned hustlers.
And what about our illustrious landlord? Despite his being our number one suspect, he is a rather charming fellow, wouldn't you agree?
I thought you ain't got that kind of proclamations.
Proclivities. And no, I do not. But even one with a fairer palate can appreciate a good hearty steak from afar.
He ain't steak, Gray.
Don't hurt yourself now.
He's a goddamn celery.
What? Sorry.
A celery. You know, green leafy stick that tastes like nothing. That's what he is, a whole lot of nothing.
I am shaken by the fact that you have eaten a vegetable in your lifetime.
And all those frills. The hell does a man need frills for, huh? He's worse than a pretty-fied woman.
I thought he looked dashing.
Then have at him. I ain't stopping you, Gray.
I get the distinct feeling that to do so would be a hazardous endeavor.
Yeah, well, he ain't our number one suspect for nothing.
You loved him.
I just met the man.
You know who I'm talking about.
I ain't like that, Gray.
Liar.
Look, it ain't like how it is for women folk. Y'all can heathenize and tempt each other all you want. For a man, it's a death sentence.
And how often were men burned at the stake for being unwed or for saying one too many words?
I don't mean to say any of that's right, but you ain't less of a woman for being the way you are.
It is difficult to be lesser than what is already considered worthless, Sawyer.
Huh?
A woman's measure of worth is by how well she keeps her house or bears her husband's spawn. Beyond that, she is considered unruly, a disturbance, a witch.
I don't reckon that about any woman.
And yet, here you are, making assumptions about woman folk, just like a man.
Huh.
Furthermore, you are incorrect about the consequences of my heathenizing. There is nothing more offensive to a man than a woman who takes his place in his future wife's boudoir. And not only that, but a woman who does it better.
I see. I'll hobble my lips before I make any more assumptions then.
See that you do. She's here!
Our Oracle client!
I am Leela Sassoon.
That you are.
And you are Dr. Daisy Gray.
That I am.
It is so good to finally meet you, my friend.
As it is to meet you. Leela Sassoon. Even her name is lyricism. It adorns the floral-faced librarian, drapes around her large, stocky form like the richest of silk. She is lifted from the very pages of a childhood fairy tale, so pure in esteem and demure in countenance, and yet, her eyes are flint, her tongue is tinder. She is a woman who sets fires with words alone. She is the very conflagration I have sought since finding my freedom. Leela Sassoon hides behind her own person, this soft and easy thing, but I know better. I know her. For years, we have exchanged letters, stories, theories, musings, and jests, and her sharp script exposes an intellect that scathes and scours, a traditionalist's very own boogeyman. She's a mind that yearns to know the world beyond worlds, the gods of all gods, and the deepest, darkest secrets of this fraying veil. Leela Sassoon is perfection. And she is sitting before me in a beaten wooden chair, her hands tightly grasped within my own. They are hard-worn and rough. Unexpected for a librarian.
Gray, you gonna introduce me to your friend here?
Must I?
It's Seeley. Ahab Seeley.
Like the book.
You, read it?
I'm a librarian, Mr. Seeley. Yes, I have read the book.
Oh.
Fear not. I understand the nature of your work calls for a certain level of discretion. You can't be too careful, especially these days. I need my hands momentarily.
But of course.
While I would like to indulge in further pleasantries, unfortunately the state of my affairs has become quite urgent.
Your missing colleague.
Missing? Who's missing?
My boss. The head librarian of Mercy Public Library.
Any developments on the search?
I'm afraid not. But I was able to procure permission from the sheriff's office to tidy up around Betty's home. Throw out the rotting food, dust the shelves, that sort of thing.
And you found this missive?
On her bedside table, yes. She received it only 2 days prior to going missing.
May I?
Yes, of course.
Read it out loud for me, Gray.
I'm afraid this script is far too swoopy for your comprehension.
Just to be clear, I can read.
An admirable skill, certainly.
To Miss Stillwater. Useless natter about the season. More useless natterings. Aha! I am in fact in possession of the text which you have been seeking, and I extend an invitation to visit the manor at your convenience. I confess to a measure of astonishment upon discovering another aficionado of the occult, particularly in light of the peculiar incidents transpiring within the city and its vicinities, of which none other than myself appears to have discerned. I eagerly anticipate our meeting to converse upon the subject of the book and other matters entwined therewith. Yours, Hiram Winters.
Hiram Winters?
There's no mention of what book specifically Betty was searching for, but she was indeed quite steeped into the occult. She and I would often converse about the topic.
Then she's also seen the Lester Medusas?
The what? Sorry?
I've not had the chance to tell you. I have officially named a new species of preternatural creatures, summoned by, I suppose, occult means. The Laetitia Medusa. How do you like the sound of that?
The happy jellyfish.
Mirthful.
That is a wonderful name, Daisy, for a rather fearsome creature.
You've seen him too?
Not quite, Mr. Seeley. But there are rumors abound of fearsome monsters prowling the farming towns of Temperance, killing all unfortunate souls who cross their paths. And I've heard them myself. Deep in the night, awful, maniacal laughter echoing throughout the city like a great cosmic taunt. A promise.
Yep, that sounds like him.
You have such a way with words, Leela.
Was your boss...
Betty Stillwater.
Miss Stillwater, yes. Was she aware of the Lester Medusas?
Not only was she aware, but she had been attacked by them and lived to tell the tale.
Is that so?
She was in Elysium 3 years ago for a rare book market. Collectors from all over the country gathered to confer and sell and purchase from each other.
Elysium?
I heard about that. There was a mass slaughtering. A wild mountain lion, the papers said.
That wasn't a mountain lion, Mr. Seeley.
And Miss Stillwater escaped with her life intact.
She hadn't been the same since. She'd been like a possessed woman, searching for all manner of texts on the occult and supernatural. I have a passing interest, but Betty? She was buried in it.
And this Hiram Winters feller?
A rare bookseller. A veritable recluse, from the sounds of it. Lives 30 minutes outside of Mercy in, according to the deputy, a haunted manor.
The sheriff's office is aware of her meeting with Mr. Winters?
They went up there themselves. Or so they claimed to have. Said there was nothing but Mr. Winters himself, who was quite hospitable and forthcoming.
But you think otherwise.
I believe it warrants further investigation. From experience, the unknown rarely makes itself known to those who do not seek the truth of it.
But once one is privy to it...
It is all one can see, yes.
Well, Mr. Seeley, should we pay this Mr. Winters a visit?
How long ago did Miss Stillwater call upon him?
Almost 2 weeks ago. I can pay you for your service if that is your concern, Mr. Seeley.
Put your damn money away. We'll do it pro bono.
I beg your pardon?
Pro bono, publico, Mr. Seeley. And indeed, as our inaugural client, we cannot accept any form of remuneration, aside the pleasure of your company, of course.
I am beyond grateful, Daisy, Mr. Seeley. Truly, I am at my wit's end.
Save your wit, my dear. Gray and Seeley are here to help. We rent 2 horses and ride up to Winter Manor. Sawyer on a steed of his own. Myself and Leela cozied up on another. It has been a great many years since I'd been held in another's arms with the absence of hostility or restraint, and I fear I may develop a penchant for it.
There it is!
Oh, botheration. Can we do a ride around? I am ever so comfortable.
Come now, Daisy. You can't stay on the horse forever.
Looks like stables over there. It's all run down, but at least we can hitch up the horses.
Well spotted, Mr. Seeley.
Winter Manor itself is like the naked, twisted trees that adorn its neglected land. 3 Soren stories of weather-worn ebony wood and muted fenestrations, more prison than abode. In the thicket of the night, one might sense a multitude of faces, pressed up against the glass with yawning eyes. Stay away. Herein lies your demise. A dense fog carpets the detritus that crunches underfoot. Sawyer rides ahead of us, and his steed floats without legs. An eerie apparition.
Mr. Winters! Mr. Winters! We need to ask you about a customer of yours. A Miss Betty Stillwater. Mr. Winters! Looks like we gotta break in. Stand back now, the both of you.
Sealy.
Know what I'm doing, Gray. Been breaking down doors for over a decade. Shoulders sturdier than a battering ram.
Wait just a moment.
God damn it! It ain't budging. Looks like it's made of hardwood, or maybe it's barred on the other side.
If you would only take a mere second to think.
Oh.
It may be best if I lead from here on.
Yeah. I reckon that's a good idea.
I enjoy your spirit, Mr. Seeley.
Don't you encourage him, Leela. Spirit is all that man has. Leave the door open, Seeley.
That wasn't me.
It could have been the wind?
There ain't no wind tonight. Not even a breeze.
Oh dear.
We can smash out a window. Don't you worry yourself none.
We should take extra precaution. I have a feeling that Mr. Winters is not so open to hosting guests.
I'd be inclined to agree. Gosh, it's pitch black in here. I can hardly see my own hands.
Is there any lamps or light switches? Damn it!
Are you all right, Mr. Seeley?
Yeah, I'm fine. I think I... Here it is. Lamp for you, Gray.
Thank you, Seeley. Interesting that there is no electricity in use. A manor this big and a man this wealthy? And yet, he uses a rudimentary lighting system.
Maybe he don't like it. The electricals and all the newfangled technologies.
Let us continue forth. We have dallied about for too long. Is it just me, or is this hallway exceedingly long? Just how large is this manor? Leela? Leela? Seeley? Where have you wandered off to? Sawyer? Botheration. Leela! Sawyer! This isn't the time to go missing! Wait!
Whoa there, Gray. Watch yourself.
Stop wandering off. We have work to do.
Sorry. Got distracted by the paintings on the walls. Don't they seem, might familiar?
Where's Leela?
I think she walked off looking for a washroom or something.
Let's collect her before continuing.
Let's.
Do you feel that, Sawyer? The heaviness that stifles one's breath?
Uh-huh.
I think there is something amiss in this manor. Something preternatural.
What do you think it is?
A haunting, perhaps? A creature that infects abodes and man? An entity beyond my ken? It could be anything.
You think this Hiram Winters feller has something to do with the Letitia Medusas?
A rare bookseller who ostensibly spirits away his customers? Quite possibly. He certainly would have the means.
Do you hear that?
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs.
There. Stairs.
You're right about these portraits, Sawyer. They do have an uncanny air of familiarity about them. And yet, it is difficult to pinpoint their exact likeness.
Maybe the Winters are just plain-faced folk.
No, these faces are of different ethnicities and genetics. I don't believe they are of the same kin.
He collects family portraits as well?
A distasteful pastime, but it does seem like the simplest explanation. That doesn't sound like Leela. It sounds like...
Gray? What is it?
Nothing. It sounds like my mother. Within the oddly elongated room, there is a 4-poster bed with moth-eaten drapes. The air is stagnant and musty, indicating that it has been undisturbed for decades. And in the shrouded gloom, there is a dark impression of a crooked spine and raised shoulders, heaving with every mournful utterance. When I turn to leave, the door is gone. And the great hulking figure of Wayne Sawyer looms over me, his face cast in the pitch, unknowable. Not even the warm glow of the lamp grazes his features, and yet I can feel the weight of his eyes upon me. For the first time since meeting him, I feel uneasy. Under threat. Sawyer? Where is the door?
Hold your horses. This could be Miss Sassoon.
It isn't Leela.
We should help her anyway. She's obviously in dire straits.
I should very much like to leave. Now.
Where's your heart, Gray? It seems the door went wandering off.
Sawyer, let me out of this room.
No can do, Doc. I'm as flummoxed as you are.
Wayne Sawyer, if you don't let me out of here, I will put a hole through you for every chamber in my gun.
Gray. Behind you.
It stands not one arm's length away, staring at us, staring at me. But its head is mutated, deformed. I can make out the pulsating flaps of its skull, peeled outwards like flower petals. And something drip, drips. A gory metronome. Didn't your mother ever tell you that staring is impolite? And it spreads its petals and releases that ungodly sound. An impossible black light emerges from behind it like a million skittering arachnids crawling over the walls and ceilings, heading directly towards us. And I know, if this light should touch me, I would be disappeared, like Betty Stillwater. Sawyer, run! Under the bed!
Go!
In the murky depths, I see them. 1,000 people floating upright like a pod of slumbering whales. I can't tell if they're dead or alive, but it is a strangely beautiful sight. I am almost compelled to simply allow myself to float. And be as they are. At peace in the deep below. That there is a lake. An entire goddamn fucking lake beneath the goddamn fucking bed.
Sure is, Gray.
So you survived.
That I did.
I didn't know you could swim.
I didn't know I could either. You need a hand? Oh, there. Maybe you should sit for a while.
I am perfectly fine, Sawyer. Just finding my bearings. One does not usually fall into a body of water beneath a 4-poster bed.
Right. That was mighty strange, wasn't it? Reckon we're in the cellar?
Seeing as there is a soaring firmament above our head, no. I do not believe we are anywhere near Winter Manor. Nor Mercy, for that matter. This appears to be a lake. Although it is impossible to discern the size of it, nor the lay of the land, as there is a thick fog. It hits me then, where we are. Even with the fog obscuring all but 10 feet beyond us. And instead of the expected indifference, I feel dread. It winds around my organs and wrings them to near bursting. One wrong step and I could disintegrate on this very accursed shore.
I saw buildings inland, not too far from where we are. Looked like a village or a small township, I reckon.
I suppose our options are rather limited.
Can you walk?
Better than you, I'm sure.
Maybe the creature in the bedroom sent us here.
Maybe.
What do you think it wants?
A new head, for starters. Are you quite all right, Sawyer? You didn't sustain any damage from the lake?
You ain't gotta fret over me, Gray. Though I sure do appreciate it.
The only thing I'm fretting about are my clothes. They are drenched through, and this cold, damp weather isn't doing us any favors.
We could see if someone would let us sit by their fire a while.
Only until we're dry.
They don't look bigger than 1,000 residents. Judging by the buildings, it seems like they've been here for generations. Maybe since the first settlement.
It once would have been a quaint, bustling town. A perfect sanctuary with its beautiful lake and lush boreal forests. Here, the homes are built by collective efforts, and neighbors raise each other's kin. Coins rarely change hands as they trade with goods and favors. And during the long summer nights, the children are let loose to play to their heart's content. Before curling up at the lakeshore and falling asleep gazing at the boundless galaxies above. But these are times long past. This is a memoriam now, a great, weathered headstone for 1,000 lifetimes.
I've noticed something strange, Gray. On every door, there's a marking, like a sigil of some kind. But it's hard to make out because they've been destroyed. Looks like gouges from a blade. Slashed right through.
Hurry along, Sawyer. I'm chilled to my bones.
Why don't we ask these folks here? They have a mighty fine abode.
We should go to a different house.
No, this one's perfect. Don't look like anyone's in, anyhow.
This town does seem abandoned.
Come on, Doc. Get gated before you freeze to death. There's gotta be a fireplace in here somewhere.
Should be one in the kitchen.
Aha! Good use of your noggin, Gray.
Even my undergarments are soaked through.
You can hang them up to dry on the mantle. Once this fire gets going, they'll be steaming in no time.
What about you, Sawyer?
Oh, right. Silly me. Here, give me your skirts. I'll hang them over here.
Thank you. A bit strange, this. Wouldn't you agree?
Huh?
Sharing a fire bare as the day we were born.
It's either that or we catch our chill.
Yes, I suppose I am being rather silly.
Are you hungry?
Not particularly.
Don't worry, I'll take a look around for you. Sit tight. Whoa.
What is it?
This is an odd place for a phonograph.
In the pantry?
Uh-huh.
It's as though it were hidden.
There's a bunch of records.
Bring them out to the counter.
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any indications of what the records contain?
Just these markings here. Looks like Roman numerals.
You would be correct. Yes.
This one's number 1.
Yes. It seems to be working now. Hello. My name is Regular Landry, and I am recording my voice for the very first time. My dear Annie surprised me with this photograph for my birthday, and I couldn't be more chuffed. Apparently, each record can contain 2 minutes of sound, and I was given 5 records to use as I see fit. I could think of no better use than to journal my life, our family's life, and any significant event worth preserving. Perhaps in 1,000 years these records will be unearthed in an archaeological expedition. If you are one such curious scholar, greetings. I hope that the future is fair and that you are hail. Today I shall report no significant events sans cleaning up after last evening's birthday celebrations. It was very good of Annie and Peculiar, my sister, to organize the event. You might be wondering about our names. That is often the first point of curiosity for new friends. My folks were of the belief in the weight of language. They were God-fearing, yes, but also had a penchant for mysticism. I was named with the hopes for a regular life, one without war and violence and mishap. My sister, Peculiar, was named with the hopes of an adventurous one, full of color and oddities and wild stories to regale. In a world that dictates the notions of man and women, we were named thus to divert fate. And fate is a powerful force here in our household, and that of our wonderful little town. Exempli Gracia! Last winter, a great fir tree was struck by lightning and fell across the only road to Ingrave. Our neighboring town, though, happens to be Havelock. Yes, that Havelock. Well, the very same night, a lone man drove his carriage into Ingrave, only to be stalled by the felled fir tree. Reluctant to abandon his carriage, the man turned around and traveled into Havelock. And we all know what happened in Havelock.
Regular, are you in your office?
There's my Annie. She's got the voice of an angel, hasn't she? I better see what she's wanting. Until next time then, my chrononautic friend, or friends, to whoever's listening.
What happened in Havelock?
The Havelock Massacre of 81. A stranger rode into Havelock Prosper one winter night and had a drink in the only bar in town. Apparently, he spoke to 6 local men that night, finished his drink, and promptly disappeared. By sunrise, the 6 men slaughtered their entire families before escaping into the surrounding forest, never to be seen again. They left no note, no indication of why they committed their crimes. The stranger and the 6 killers are yet to be found to this day.
Huh. Sounds like a ghost story.
Ghostly tales are born of real events.
Yeah, well, I ain't never paid much mind to 'em.
And now?
I like it when you tell 'em, Gray. You got a spectacular way with words.
Spectacular? Is it?
Let's see here. Two. Got it! A second record for your listening pleasure.
Thank you.
Ingrave, Prosper, shouldn't be a town of any significance. It's not even really a town. The population rounds up to an even 1,000. Around 100 families descended from the first men of Ingrave. We don't ever marry outside our town. There's admittedly been health issues and defects because of this. But there's a good reason for our insularity. We are both blessed and cursed by the great benevolence, which thrust upon our bloodlines the duty of keeping the darkness at bay. But I fear that corruption has long taken a hold of our peaceable town. Shadows lurk in the depths of the lake, and the forests susurrate with the whispers of unknown entities. Faces of the dead seek us in our dreams, and the children are seized by fevers and fits. They act as though possessed. The Parker girl, most especially. She's been caught red-handed killing pets, snapping the necks of cats and dogs and investigating their insides like a science experiment. There is something evil in the air, and it's infecting our children. It's infecting everything.
Ingrave, Prosper. Ever heard of it?
No.
I suppose that's where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Here's number 3.
I'm tired.
There's only 2 more after this. Maybe we'll figure out what happened
It is hardly relevant to our predicament.
Come on, Gray. Unless there's a reason you don't want to listen.
Give it here.
Something's coming. Something malignant. Sick. The elders have been meeting in the town hall frequently and issuing concerning orders. Stay indoors after sundown. Do not go out to the lake. Refrain from responding to the voices. Do not answer the knocks. And if you hear crying, when one's prey is defended by a sturdy fort, one must resort to non-physical measures to lure them out. This is the extent of what our enemies can do. But even so, we have lost a handful of villagers, all of whom were hale in mind and body. Peculiar is amongst the missing. My sweet little sister. Wherever she is, I hope she's happy and well, off having an adventure and collecting wild stories to regale. Perhaps I should have given her my name instead. Some positive news. The Parkers have sent Clementine away to an institution in Ambition. I pray the child finds the help she sorely needs. Despite the great benevolence's wards, I believe that, of us all, Clementine Parker is the safest within her padded fort.
The great benevolence. He keeps mentioning the great benevolence.
It could be a god. The deity of a folk religion?
Seems like something might have poisoned the well water. This regular feller weren't sound of mind at all. You all right, Gray? You're looking mighty pale there.
Scratching on the door. I tried to go outside to investigate, but I remembered the elders' orders. Stay indoors after sundown. The Suttons disobeyed the order to help a calving cow, and they were nowhere to be found by morn. I don't know what to do. I fear I may know the source of this sound, and I fear the darkness might infect our home, our family. But how does one fight the dark when there is no flesh to rend nor blood to draw? The great benevolence has abandoned us all.
Last one.
Do you think regular Landry was a good man?
It's hard to tell from a few records, but I reckon he was trying to keep his people safe, and that shows he's got a heart, right?
Does that make you a good person? Possessing a heart?
Isn't that what goodness is?
I'm not certain. In every culture and denomination, there is a variation on the prerequisites of goodness. Some believe martial prowess is a marker of righteousness. Some believe drawing a drop of blood corrupts one's soul. Others believe that good and bad, right and wrong, are simply human constructs and are not applicable to the natural world.
So, what do you believe?
I believe that there are certain things beyond the limitations of morality and human comprehension.
Such as?
The great benevolence, for one.
Sure, but it's got benevolence in the name. Ain't benevolence a marker of goodness?
Benevolence, much like goodness, is in the eye of the beholder, for it often comes at a dear cost to another. Benevolence, then, is the other side of the coin to malignance.
That there sounds like blasphemy, Professor.
Blasphemy, for one, is simply holiness to another.
Do you hear it? Do you hear its call? the great benevolence calls for its disciples. Come, it says, come and join me in the realm beyond. The realm of dreams and gods and immortality. The realm beyond realms beyond realms beyond realms beyond realms beyond. Annie is gone. My dear beloved Annie. She left at first light, along with half the village. I woke to find the bed empty and with a flaring black light streaming into the room. I can't see a single thing outside, but I hear it all. The angels, the gods, the heavenly ancient beings. Listen! Listen! It calls us into the lake, the gateway to the realm beyond. I must follow them. Follow my Annie, my peculiar. I must answer the great benevolence's call. It will come for us. It will come for you as it came for me. The knocking on the windowsill, and the carvings on the door, and the bright black light that carries its call. The final judgment awaits you all!
What in the hells was that?
Check the windows.
Dark outside. Can't see nothing but shadows and... Hold on, I'll go out and see what's going on.
Wait!
Get your gun out, and if I start
It can't be
hollering...
dark. It was day, wasn't it? Moments ago, it was broad daylight.
Shit, it was.
And not only that, but listen! Haven't you noticed?
Sit down, Gray. You look like you're about to keel over.
The singing. On the record, it never stopped. It never stopped!
It will come for you as it came for me.
The great benevolence's call. Mercy. Episode 4. Winter. Starring Aurora Ave-Lallemant as Dr. Daisy Gray, Austin Sharp as Wayne Sawyer, Sneha Kumar as Leela Sassoon, Matt Doherty as Reverend and Annie Landry, and Hayden Sullivan as Regular Landry. Mercy is produced by Madison Diaz. The script supervisor is Matt Doherty. Written, directed, and sound designed by Jae-in Hwan. The sound effects and music for this show is sourced from EpidemicSound. You can find the link to the full music credits in the description of this episode. Please follow, rate, and review to support our show. This has been presented by Strange Con Studio.